All right, fellas. So before we get into this no item run in the collection of epic battles, let's go ahead and get these entrance animations.
そろそろオラとやろうぜ。
1対1にこだわってる場合じゃないだろう。
こっからが本気と本気の勝負だ。これがスーパーサイヤ人ゴッドを超えた姿だ。お互い目いっぺいやろうぜ。
So we are here completing one of 3 category missions. This is actually stage 4. And as you guys can see, we're using the Mastered Evolution team, led by Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta, the very coveted ROF Blues. I was actually kind of excited to use the ROF Blues because they are not a unit that I use too often. And then, you know, after I did this run again and again and again and again and again, I remembered why I didn't like using the ROF Blues. The ROF Blues, they're just not really that impressive as a leader unit. I mean, honestly, even as like a floating option, like if they're like the 6th option on your team, like I guess I get it. But running 2 of this unit just runs into trouble for sure. So one issue I have with running them both on the same team, you know, running the leader, the double leader skill that is that this is perhaps the least impressive defensive unit that has come out in a very, very long time, at least in terms of Dokkan Festival exclusives. In terms of the 200% leader skills, I would definitely say least impressive defensive unit. And running 2 of them, man, it is just a real hindrance to your team. As you can see, we absolutely just smoked Mecha Frieza and King Cold right there. I mean, these first few fights, even the one against the Imperfect Cell and Second Form Cell, which we'll get to here in a few minutes, even that fight, the first 3 fights, to me, it's just really to kind of set up your rotations and give your best shot against Cell Perfect Form and then Perfect Cell and Buff Cell, you know, for what that's worth. So again, man, this is the Mastered Evolution team, and the RF Blues, as I just mentioned, not very impressive. I would say when you exchange into Vegeta, he's like okay, right? But you got to get him his 3 Key Spheres, absolutely have to. And remember, he can potentially get a 100% chance to crit. He gets a 25% chance to crit per Rainbow Key Sphere, and he does change Rainbow Keys into Rainbow Key Spheres, right? So that's good. Again, you get him his 3 Key Spheres, he gets an additional 50% defense. That is, of course, good as well. Vegeta's pretty good. If he were just a standalone blue Vegeta, I think he'd actually be a pretty solid Dokkan Fest and maybe add a couple of extra facets to his kit. He could potentially be, like, pretty solid. But, again, man, just don't really care for the unit. Probably the best unit on this team, I would say. I mean, it's got to be AGL LR Gohan, right? I just dropped a 200%, you know, Max Link's Rainbow Showcase on him, and he really just is the whole team. Between him and the LR Gods, just the whole entire team absolutely carries. So if you have, like, you really do not need the ROF Blues. I think you could easily just run a double LR God setup, and I think I probably should have done that, but I just, you know, I wanted to, again, as I mentioned, I hadn't used the ROF Blues in a while, and I just wanted to use them, and with the induction of, like, the quote-unquote, like, the fixed friend system, or the new friend system, you can actually find ROF Blues that's more than 55% or even 1 dupe. You know, I think I found a Rainbow Buddy in this particular case. So, but again, man, AGL LR Gohan, if you need to know a little more about him, basically just watch that showcase video or watch any other content creator showcase on that guy. He is ridiculous, right? So base form, he's guarding, he's stacking defense, he can triple super in his base form before he transforms. Absolutely just insane, right? If you get him as triple super while he's guarding, Well, when you get him as triple super, he'll always be guarding, because both of those abilities activate when your HP is 58% or higher. And then I think ideally, if your HP is below 58%, you're just transforming, right, into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But you can only get the triple super and the guarding, right, because they both activate with the same HP threshold. So he is really, really good when he transforms. The one blemish on his record, so to speak, is the transformation conditions suck. It's got to be beyond turn 5. HP has to be 58% or lower. And you got to be either up against an android's enemy or have an android on your team, right? Or int, you can have not int 16, but just any android 16 on your team, right? And you can still get that transformation. You can get it before turn 5. But in terms of the rest of the units, right? So I mentioned the LR Gods. Probably don't need to talk about the LR Gods, right? But they are absolutely just still really, really good units. Over here on Global, I mean, they're still easily top 10, top 5 material, I would say. You have AGL LR Gohan, I think, at 1. At least over here on Global, right? And then it's kind of the rest of the units in the game. I mean, I think you're probably still putting, I mean, you've got AGL LR Gohan. You do have Beast Gohan. You do have Power Awakened Piccolo. Power Awakened Piccolo is probably 1, but then you've got LR Gohan probably right behind him over here on Global. And then you've probably got the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods, you know, in whatever order. Probably the Gods ahead of the Super Saiyan 4s just because of their teams, right? That Power Beyond Super Saiyan team has just proven to be a really, really nasty team when you combine it with movie heroes. It's a really, really nasty team. You can throw them on as a floater on all of these ridiculous teams, you know, the superhero teams, right? So, overall, I mean, the team is not horrible. It's just the leaders, right? You've got the LR Gods. Decided to throw AGL Golden Frieza on the team. He is, of course, Mastered Evolution. The TUR Golden Frieza, right, with that 90% damage reduction, it's just too good, right, to not have on this team, particularly when you're rocking 2 leaders that are pretty subpar defensively. And then you have a couple of other units that just overall are not like the craziest defensively. You know, AGL Golden Frieza, dude, is just the de facto slot 1 unit. He's 90% damage reduction above the HP threshold of 40%. He's really good, dude. I mean, it's just that plain and simple, right? He's really good in today's meta, the red zone meta. He does basically nothing in terms of damage, but the defense, man, you can't argue with 90% damage reduction. He can take, you know, he can take super attacks from Tech Cell Max. I mean, just to kind of put it in perspective. So he is absolutely a must run on this Mastered Evolution team. And if you have LR Golden Frieza, easily could have rocked him on this team as well. He'll do a little more damage for you. Of course, he's got the active skill. Overall, just probably a bit more of a well-balanced unit, but again, that unit is just really strong defensively. So, one unit that I had not used ever, I mean, outside of link leveling, I don't think I had ever used, maybe some initial sort of showcase runs, is this ROF Blue Vegeta, right? One of the sub-EZA Blue Vegetas. This guy, so the AGL one, his passive is based off of Mastered Evolution units. In case you guys need your memory refresh, so that unit, that blue ROF Vegeta, he is attack and defense 130% when performing a super attack, gets an additional attack and defense 15% per Mastered Evolution category ally on the team, and then he gives himself 3 ki and gives himself a high chance to crit if the whole rotation is Mastered Evolution. So, again, for a full Mastered Evolution build, man, again, I don't want to say he's a must-run, but he's a very, very strong option. He's sitting there 5-6 million attack stats, you know, close to 7 million attack stats, no support. I mean, he's pretty solid, I would say, on that Mastered Evolution team. And then again, 130% attack and defense on super, right? He's going to benefit a lot from support type units. So he can definitely put up some good numbers, at least in terms of the damage department. We do have a lot of damage dealers on this team for sure. One you just saw there was Fizz Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So Fizz Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he kind of catches a bad rap these days. I mean, he's just like an old unit, you know what I mean? He's a 2-year-old unit at this point, almost. Yeah, he was a New Year's unit. He was the New Year's Dokkan Fest in 2021 over there on JP. So he came out over here April Fools over here on Global 2022, right? So anyway, though, he is just kind of getting up there, right? He was one of these units, one of the first units that really got cucked by the 7th year power creep, right? The 200% leader skill. And he has a really nasty leader skill. It's such a shame that it's not a 200% style leader skill because it's Battle of Fate and Accelerated Battle, if I'm not mistaken. Which have the likes of, like, the best units in the game on it, right? You know, LR, Vegeta, and Trunks. You've got, like, everyone from the Dragon Ball Super movie on that team. Like, that team is really, really good. If you combine Accelerated Battle and Battle of Fate, for sure. Like, that is a busted-ass team. So, but again, that's kind of it, right, in terms of the units on this team. So again, this was kind of the situation I was hoping to avoid. I do believe I get the transformation here with one, or excuse me, the exchange with one of these units here. So let's go ahead and get it. In hindsight, probably didn't need to do this explicitly. I just like, cause so here we are, we're about to get the Dokkan attack, right? And I'm pretty sure AGL LR Gohan is going to end things. What I was concerned about is having one of the ROF blues not have any links active and potentially not super attack. So why I decided to even do this is in case AGL LR Gohan doesn't finish things off here with the Dokkan attack, the friend, the rainbowed friend, will go ahead and get kind of one or two more cheeky attack stacks in there, and then we'll exchange with him on the next turn, and then that Vegeta will be putting up even better damage numbers. If you guys have done this stage, this Cell can be kind of a twat. He can just kind of, usually speaking, he super attacks you right off the rip. No chance to prepare at all. He can lock you into place. He can lock two of your units in place and just completely, I mean, he can just decide that you lose sometimes. Again, especially if you're going for no items and this kind of thing. You can obviously bring a Sensu Bean and some Whis and that kind of thing and get through this a bit easier. Sensu Bean, of course, would clear the locks. It would clear any seals or anything like that. Any status condition, right, it clears out. But this Cell, right, perfect Cell right here, he's a dick, right? He's definitely very, very annoying. So if he locks any one of these units into place, actually on this turn, not too big of a deal. But remember, he can, right? So if that were on the prior rotation, let's say he locks that blue Vegeta into place, slot 1, well, you're dead, right? I mean, there's nothing you can really do. And of course, that could even be said for like the LR Gods, for instance. Even if you transform with them into the LR Blues, they could potentially not dodge for you, right? And get absolutely just smashed. So it is a problem, right? This Cell can be a problem. He's not just some easy layup boss. Yeah, I mean, if you go in here with double LR Power Awakened Piccolo, you're probably going to, you know, smash his skull in, but I think otherwise, right, there are some units. Of course, you know, Beast Gohan would perform very, very well in here for sure. So, unfortunately, Beast Gohan not really on Mastered Evolution, although considering I don't think he is, right? Hold on here. Considering the card is LR Ultimate Gohan, I feel like he probably should be, right? I mean, am I crazy? Is he not? Is he on that category? He should be on that category. Ultimate Gohan's like his go-to form. I mean, in any single time after he learns it, right? That's his go-to form. So, whatever, man. What do I know? I must be smoking something good, I guess. So, didn't need to transform into Super Saiyan 3. Never really got a chance, right? Had some pretty good RNG on this run. This run, the no item run, took me probably way more tries than I would have preferred. I want to say it took me about 6 runs, you know, about a half dozen runs or so to get the no item run here. But again, you dodge some super attacks here and there, and you kind of get the RNG. He didn't lock me into place at all, right? At least where it inconvenienced me too much. I don't think I bothered doing the exchange here. I just said, whatever, you know, Gohan's probably just going to end it. This particular run, we didn't even get Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I mean, look at our health, dude. We're at full fucking health. You know, that was definitely an anomaly on this run. I was usually transforming into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and, you know, being at low HPs. Again, that was the 9-turn stun right there, by the way. So I guess AGL LR Gohan didn't end it. It looks like the ROF Blues are probably going to end it here for us. Yeah, one more ought to do it. 8.4. That's pretty good. I mean, we're pretty deep. Obviously, we're about to end the fight, but pretty impressive there, I would say, at least in terms of the attack stat. So, but that was the Mastered Evolution run. I'm going to try and pound through all of these today. We shall see. I might have to throw in a couple tomorrow. But that was it, guys. Let me know what your team looked like in the comments below. Slap a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you are new. And I will catch all of you in the next one. Later.